Imagine living in a place where something as simple as choosing your haircut or even the color of your clothes could lead to severe punishment. In this video, we're diving into the most absurd and shocking laws of North Korea, rules so unbelievable that they seem straight out of a dystopian movie. We'll explore the impact of these laws on daily life and what they reveal about the regime that controls the country. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a place where every action could get you in trouble? How would that affect the way you think, act, or even dream? If you're curious about how one of the world's most secretive and enigmatic nations operates, and you want to learn valuable lessons about freedom, power, and social control, stick with me until the end of this video. But first, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. North Korea is one of the most authoritarian and isolated regimes in the world, ruled by the Kim dynasty since its founding in 1948. Currently led by Kim Jong-un, the country enforces total control over every aspect of society. The leadership is characterized by a cult of personality, where the leader is worshipped almost like a deity, and any form of criticism or opposition is unimaginable. This extreme isolation from the rest of the world is a deliberate strategy to keep the population in ignorance and crush any potential dissent. In this environment, laws aren't just social norms or guidelines, they're tools of total control. From regulations dictating what people can wear to the complete censorship of external information, every detail of citizens' lives is strictly monitored. North Korean laws are designed to shape behavior and thoughts, suppressing any trace of individuality or freedom. This legal structure ensures the regime remains unchallenged, ruling through fear and repression while maintaining the illusion of a united society loyal to its leader. Let's start our countdown of the 10 most absurd and unbelievable laws in North Korea, showing how they impact everyday life and reveal the extent of the regime's control. 10. Standardized haircuts. In North Korea, you don't get to choose your own haircut. There's a government-approved list of styles, and if you defy it and try to wear something different, you could face severe punishment. This law highlights the government's control over even the smallest aspects of personal life. In a society where individuality is crushed, even your hairstyle has to conform to the standards imposed by the leadership. 9. Ban on blue jeans. In most places, wearing jeans is a common, even casual, choice. But not in North Korea. There, blue jeans are seen as a symbol of Western imperialism, especially from the US, the regime's great enemy. Wearing this piece of clothing could be considered an act of treason. This absurd rule shows how even fashion is politicized in a country where anything associated with the West is suppressed. 8. Mandatory photos of leaders. In every home and public building in North Korea, it's mandatory to have portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il displayed in prominent spots. These photos must always be spotless and clean, with the risk of punishment if there's any sign of neglect. There are reports of citizens being punished for failing to maintain these photos in perfect condition, showing how even objects inside your home are tools of control. 7. 100% approval elections. Yes, North Korea holds elections, but there's only one candidate, the party leader. And voting against him is not an option. Everyone is required to show up and, of course, voluntarily vote for the only candidate available. Any sign of resistance could lead to imprisonment or severe consequences. This democratic theater serves to legitimize the regime but reveals a complete disregard for basic principles of choice and freedom. 6. Ban religious practice. Religious freedom is virtually non-existent in North Korea. Being caught practicing any religion that doesn't align with the regime's principles can lead to imprisonment, torture, or even death. The idea is that the only worship allowed is to the leader, who is seen almost as a deity. This control shows how the North Korean government tries to eliminate any form of independent or alternative thought. 5. Restricted internet access. In North Korea, most people have no idea what the internet really is. Access to the global web is limited to a small elite and government-controlled information. Ordinary citizens only have access to a state-run internet that displays pro-regime content and propaganda. This control of information is a way to keep the population ignorant and unaware of what's happening in the rest of the world. 4. Ban on contact with foreigners. North Korean citizens are forbidden from having any kind of relationship or contact with foreigners. Any interaction is viewed as suspicious and can lead to severe punishment. This law is a way to keep the population isolated and avoid any external influence that might challenge the government's narrative. There are reports of people being sent to labor camps simply for interacting with tourists. 3. Internal travel restrictions. In North Korea, you can't simply travel to another city or region. Moving within the country requires special permission. This makes it difficult for people to connect with others from different communities and keeps tight control over the population. This restriction on movement is part of the regime's strategy to isolate groups and prevent any form of organized resistance. 2. Total control of the media. All media in North Korea is state-run and serves as a tool of propaganda. News that criticizes the government or shows alternative realities is completely censored. The media only broadcasts information that praises the regime, creating a bubble of misinformation. This ensures that the population is constantly bombarded with the official narrative, without any counterpoints or critiques. 1. Punishment for thought crimes. The most absurd and oppressive law in North Korea is the concept of thought crimes. If the government suspects someone has thoughts contrary to the regime, that person can be arrested, even without acting against the government. This creates a culture of paranoia where no one feels safe to express or even think something different from what's allowed. The idea of punishing people for their thoughts is the pinnacle of totalitarian control, where the regime doesn't just want to control actions but also seeks to dominate the minds of its citizens. These laws are more than just rules. Analyzing these norms shows us how essential freedom and human rights are for the dignity of any society. The laws we explored in North Korea challenge our understanding of freedom and highlight how difficult life can be under an authoritarian regime. In countries where freedom is a basic right, even when rules or restrictions exist, people still have choices regarding what they wear, where they travel, and what they believe. The contrast is striking. While in many parts of the world, debate and diversity of thought are encouraged, in North Korea, uniformity is imposed. Now, think for a moment. What would it be like to live in a place where even your thoughts could be considered a crime? Where any expression of individuality, like your haircut or clothing, could put you at risk. Reflecting on this makes us appreciate even more the freedoms we often take for granted. So, what do you value more, freedom or control? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos like this one.